weathered wood siding blended with the gunmetal sky, as did the dented gray Ford Focus in the driveway. Lights blazed from the first-story windows. As Zoe grabbed the heart monitor, defibrillator, she spotted Janie Baker, Oriel's granddaughter, stepping out onto the sloping porch, clutching a bulky cardigan at her throat. "Hurry, please," she wailed. Earl came around from the rear of the ambulance, snatched the jump kit and portable oxygen tank, and trudged toward the house. Zoe trailed behind, picking her way around patches of ice. The last thing she needed was to slip and re-injure her newly mended knee. Janie held the door for them, her eyes frantic. "Gram's in the basement. She must have fallen down the stairs. I can't wake her up." Earl urged Janie to lead the way. They followed her down a narrow hall to an open doorway. She gestured toward it. "Down there." Earl stopped on the top step and swore so softly Zoe almost didn't hear. She craned her neck to see past her partner as they thudded down the stairs, but she didn't get a good view of the patient until they reached the bottom. Oriel Andrews lay in a heap. One leg was twisted at an unnatural angle. An arm was pinned beneath her, either broken or dislocated. Zoe winced. The elderly woman faced a long, painful recovery, provided she survived the fall. Earl set the equipment down and dropped to his knees beside her. "She's breathing." Zoe moved around her partner to kneel across from him. "Mrs. Andrews?" She patted the old woman's pale cheeks. "Oriel, can you hear me?" No reaction. Earl opened the jump kit and tugged out the blood pressure cuff. "I'll get the vitals." Zoe started setting up the heart monitor. She glanced up at Janie, who remained at the top of the stairs, a hand pressed to her mouth. "Any idea how long she's been here?" Janie didn't respond. "Janie," Zoe said, louder this time. Hearing her name jarred her out of her stupor. "I'm sorry. What?" Zoe repeated the question. Janie gave a spastic shake of her head. "No, I stopped by to make sure Gram had something for supper, and if not, I was going to cook for her. She didn't answer the door, so I let myself in. I couldn't find her anywhere, until I looked down here. I kept telling her she didn't need to go to the basement. I could get anything she needed from down there, but she never listened to me. I've been afraid something like this would happen." Earl released the rest of the air from the cuff and removed the stethoscope from his ears. 132/86. Pretty good for a woman her age. Zoe had a feeling Janie's BP was considerably higher. They needed to do something to distract her before they ended up with 2 patients. "Janie, can you do us a favor? Gather all of her medications into a bag so we can take them with us to the hospital." "Okay." She spun and disappeared from sight. Zoe gingerly unbuttoned Oriel's flannel pajama top and began peeling and sticking the cardiac electrodes to her chest. "Respiration's 10, pulse is thready. Pupils equal and reactive." Earl connected tubing to the oxygen tank and positioned a mask over Oriel's nose and mouth. Oxygen in place and flowing, Earl started doing a physical assessment, palpating the woman's skull with a gentle touch. He made a humming sound in his throat. "Feels like a hematoma here. What my mom would call a nice goose egg. At least these stairs are carpeted. We probably wouldn't have any work to do if they weren't. Well, I wouldn't." Zoe ignored her partner's reference to her secondary gig as deputy coroner. With the leads connected, she watched the rhythmic pattern dancing across the monitor. Oriel's heart rate was fast, but regular. Voices filtered down from upstairs. Janie's and a more masculine one. The thud of footsteps approached the top of the steps. "You guys need any help?"